Okay, I've placed a few keynotes on one of the enlarged views, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a schedule that displays the keynotes. Now it's going to sound a little, some of the things are going to sound a little strange, nothing really to worry about. I'm going to go to the View tab, I'm going to click on Legends, and I want to create a keynote legend. And I'm just going to call it Keynotes. Of all the things to get hung up on, let's put that in all caps just to be pretty. Okay, now there is a huge battle, a brouhaha of whether or not that's supposed to be keynotes or keyed notes. Everyone has their own method of doing it. I call them keynotes, so by golly, that's what I'm going to do. Long story short, you can accept all the defaults. But I am going to go to sorting and grouping. We definitely want to make sure that we're sorting by key value, which is the number. We're going to click on the Formatting tab, and here's where we can change key value to number. And in the schedule, we want this to be centered. And for the keynote text, we want this to read keynote. And we want this to be left justified. Under appearance, I like having a outline, a medium line outline of everything. I don't want a blank row before the data begins. I'm going to show the title, I'm going to show the headers, and I'm going to leave all this just perfectly as is. I'll click OK, and we're thinking, wow, this is great unless I have more than just these keynotes. Well, don't worry about it. All this will be fine. You can see I've got keynotes sitting over here. Now, at this point, I've got my sheet view open. I'm going to take my keynotes legend and I'm going to drag it over here. Yes, that's awfully big and ugly. I'm going to zoom in. Here's a little something. Highlight or select your sheet, and you can see we have a keynote alignment visibility parameter. We'll turn that on. We may need to resize a few things to make this work right. But for the moment, okay, wow, there's a lot there. I will fine-tune the actual size of the keynote alignment legend, so I'll just take this, and unfortunately we can't snap to it, but I can eyeball it. I will go ahead and move this 1 inch over. I'm going to take that little triangle and I'm going to drag him all the way over to that end. Okay, so my keynotes have been placed, and I definitely want to show you guys something here. I'm going to turn my keynote alignment off. I'm going to activate this particular view, and I'm going to take that keynote. It's the only copy of FN6, which is the Enhanced Concrete Finish. It's the only keynote of that value on this sheet. I'm going to delete it. You see how the keynote disappeared from your legend? There is one keynote legend, and it's smart enough to report only the keynotes that are used on that sheet. Never, never, never will we get a comment saying, you have a keynote on your legend and it's not used anywhere on the sheet. We will not get that. Revit is too smart. I'm going to undo that to bring that note back. There's our note. Deactivate my view. Go away for now. So that's placing the keynote legend on the page. By the time you see this in the morning, when you highlight the keynote alignment and turn that keynote alignment on, that line will be moved over to this location so we can eyeball that and see it all the way that we need to see it. So that's placing the keynote legend on the sheet.